is the what?
We're back.
Haha, this is me.
Whoa! Oh, I was gonna say, what am I doing? Ask Master Pugnations to sign the Declaration of Interdependence. Will you sign this document? Otherwise, we'll fucking conquer you.
Will you sign this document selling your rights to independence?
I'm gonna send Tobias after you.
And the right to rule your own people.
I want to have Tobias execute him in the town square. Can I do that?
Would you sign this document that forces you to pay taxes to me?
And directly to me, actually. Don't worry, I'll use it for your benefit.
Not will we create the UN. Will you just serve me?
The question I had before we started recording is, what is the purpose of the saucer underneath the teacup? Is it to catch any spills? Is it for a spoon?
It is to catch spills. It is for a spoon. It is also for like crackers and stuff.
Oh, like on the side, have a little,
Yeah.
have a little cookie on the side. All right.
Yeah.
I own saucers.
Just like
Thanks, Mom, but I don't use them.
One sec.
It's just me. It's just me now. B's gone. Are those tea
The
crackers?
saucer is for things like the Leibniz butter cakes.
Leibniz butter kicks. Adds a kick to your tea.
Yeah, made in Poland.
Nice. So you know they've seen some shit.
Wow. Is Pugnacious amenable? Oops.
How may I help you? Oh, he expressed some woes, and then we're gonna ask him to do us a favor. I bet he's gonna have us ameliorate those woes. Oh, right, because he doesn't have his king's thing anymore either, so he's kind of useless anyway.
Yeah. This is how you do it. You go and you find kingdoms who have just lost their source of power. And you say, haha, you're weak. Would you like to stand with the strong?
Indeed.
Oh, flippin' heck.
Oh, God.
Nice.
What the flip?
This is when they're like, oh man, if only we were still rigging the die rolls.
Lady Luck, we ask you to guide us in the matter of this union. An odd number will show us that you deem it wise.
Just like 40K.
You could have done that any other way. You could have said any
That's
number,
it?
any number other than 6.
Boy,
means
what's
it's
going on
wise.
with them?
Interesting.
Glitchy shadows or something.
Huh?
Yeah, your system is fucking stupid.
Honor me.
You know what he is? He's decided to start playing like a GM that follows the rule of cool.
Oh yeah, he's like, the dice rolls say this, but it'd be really cool if I gave up all my rights and let you tell me what to do.
Yeah, you know.
Oh wait, I have to go do something. I have to unite the rings or whatever.
Have you heard that hilarious thing that's going on with Lord of the Rings? It's probably going to be over.
The fan fiction thing?
The fan fiction thing?
Okay, tell the viewers about this, but yes, I have heard of it, and it's...
So a guy who wrote a fan fiction.
Do we know what the fan fiction is? Like,
Yes, I
details?
read a whole thing, like what it's about, and I read the back of it. It's really stupid. Oh, I'll wait for this cutscene.
Is it cool fan fiction?
It
Or is it like Gandalf has sex with Aragorn, like your typical fan fiction?
it's so it's basically. Oh my god. Well, right. The premise of this is that this person's like, the Rings of Power show stole half of my story.
It's a bad
Fully
story.
half of the show is what I wrote in my. Is based on what I wrote. What did they write? So Rings of Power, as we all know, takes place thousands of years before anything in the movies.
Right.
Before pre-Silmarillion, not between the Silmarillion and other stuff. This fan fiction, which came out in 2017, I believe, technically, and the person got a copyright for it, which doesn't make any sense because you can't copyright fan fiction, is based on Eleanor, who, I will say, Eleanor is a character in Rings of Power, who is a Harfoot, who's a pre-Hobbit, proto-Hobbit.
Spoilers for Rings of Power if you haven't watched it. And if you haven't watched it, God bless you.
There's going to be literally no spoilers.
I'm just saying that's. Oh, I was going to spoil it, but
Oh.
now you've blanketed.
Oh,
is
sorry.
that the one that finds the wizard?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just so I know who it is. Spoilers for
So
me.
that is Rings of Power. Eleanor, a Harfoot,
Rob.
proto-Hobbit, such and such. The fanfic is based on Samwise Gamgee's daughter, also named Eleanor, going on an adventure with basically a fellowship to go and find the other rings of power that weren't mentioned in the book, supposedly.
Like not
With the help of the blue elves that we also don't see, we don't vaguely hear about. And that's just the book. There's more rings. If all the rings come together, bad shit. So basically, their suit is based on the idea that Eleanor, a character named Eleanor that is Hobbit adjacent, is 100% stealing from him.
Their first ally found.
Is this person the suing person, the fan fiction writer based in the United States?
Maritime realm.
I'm pretty sure they are.
So this lawsuit was in the United States.
Yeah. And not only that, they copyright the book, which doesn't make any sense.
No.
They then released the book the day or something like that, or the week before Rings of Power started.
The Declaration of
Which is like-
Independence, eh? Very impressive.
Clearly, they're trying to capitalize on
Yes.
the.
Yeah, they're just like Lord of the Rings on people's minds.
And Bodley, of course.
Bodily.
Don't forget your own role. in
That's
it.
incredibly silly.
But like nothing there sounds like Rings of Power,
By the way, are there any
except that
girls
there's a short person named Eleanor.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, I was just interested.
The problem with the American court system is that unless you have a really clever way of getting out of something as a defense attorney, all things stupid and smart will be heard in some manner.
Good to have someone you can trust.
So, like, there still has to be hearings on this issue, and a judge is probably going to hear motions and
See you soon.
have other, like, discovery hearings, and there's going to be all kinds of weird stuff. Who knows how far this thing goes?
Yeah. Well, they released the book on Amazon because you can self-publish things on Amazon.
Yeah.
Which is also kind of stupid. Amazon has apparently since removed the book. They haven't said why, but we all know.
I wonder why.
But people are, which is reasonable, concerned about what this means for just fanfic in general. Because they're like, this guy's going to lose. Could this possibly set a precedent to harm fanfic?
Well, it might
just
not.
in general?
It might not become precedent, which is good, but it's not really necessary because I don't know if you remember. At this point, it's probably 2015. 8 years ago, Star Trek, like CBS, got really hard on Star Trek fan fiction.
Brain skimmer.
There used to be like a really vibrant, like fan film community, and they used to write stories. And basically, CBS released this guideline, and they're like, "Hey, if you want to make fan fiction, we're cool. You just have to do these things." Which, of course, are not enough. Not allowing the things that used to be still occur.
Yeah.
And if you don't do these things, we'll come after you. Basically,
It was like the bullshit with the D&D OGL
Right.
stuff,
Yeah.
where like,
Which they back down on.
but even then, the OGL should, in and of itself, shouldn't matter, because almost everything in D&D should be usable
Right.
by people. And basically, they're saying by having an OGL, they are sort of accepting that they know that, but that they also know that they will still sue the crap out of you, and win because they have more money.
And that you've hit the nail on the head in terms of what really goes on, because sometimes I field questions by lay people, and it's often like, "Can I win? Does such and such have a case? Can they sue X for this?" Is the most common question, and it's like, yeah, you can sue anybody for anything, and if you have money, you can keep that going for a long time, and you can destroy somebody. If you're
Yeah.
Wizards of the Coast or whatever, even if it has no basis in any reality. I'm gonna do this mission.
Or like Monster Energy.
Right.
So many
Oh,
people-
yeah,
Because
yeah.
just the word monster is in the title of a game.
Because they probably have a legal division and they need to do something with them, and maybe the lawyers don't even want to do this thing, or they advise against it, which happens as well. But they can't not do it. They can resign, but
Also, the legal division needs to explain how they're doing something.
right.
Yeah.
Did I pick 4 guys? I
Well,
didn't even think about it.
similarly, what's her face?
Taylor Swift.
Anne Rice of the Vampire Lestat and the Mayfair Witches.
Ah, yes.
And stuff. There was once a huge. Tomian knows way more about this, and I'm sure Alex probably knows more about it too. But there used to be a huge fanfic community, and then Anne Rice started suing people because she was like, "No, Lestat was based on her husband who had passed." And so she's like, anything that isn't written by me is an insult to his memory. And so she just started suing people to the point where basically there was no fanfic being made for any of her stuff. Because she just was not a friend of the fans.
A fan fiend?
Yeah.
That sucks. Although I would argue that a lot of the content in those Anne Rice books
But her son is
sounds like fan fiction. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
her son though seems to be one of her sons.
Dan Rice. I mean, yeah, I don't know if that's his name.
I forget his name. Seems to be much nicer because he's also a writer, and it's just like, yeah, do whatever you want.
Well, that's nice. A modern person. Can't say that about the Tolkien estate. Those motherfuckers hate everything.
Yeah.
Even though some official products throughout the years have been trash.
Well, apparently they hated the movies, Peter Jackson
Yeah,
movies.
yeah. That's famously they did not like those movies. Was it Christopher Tolkien? I think this is grand.
It says now Simon's in charge. Simon Tolkien.
Yeah, because Christopher Tolkien passed away last year, I believe.
Cool.
2 years ago, something like that. Yeah, it's weird, man. The world of fan fiction is weird. Meanwhile, we got Sonic fan fiction in Sega, and they're just like, keep it coming. Keep it coming. Make
Yeah.
it happen.
Yeah, Sega is all too happy to have
Yeah.
Sonic floating around on the internet.
Exactly. Yeah, or just like Sonic and Peach have a relationship. That's a common trope. Not that I would know. I've only heard about it in Legends.
Sure. You only heard about it in Legend.
Yeah, only the New York Times did an article
There's definitely not
on
an argument.
Sonic fanfiction.
There's definitely not an argument that Sonic basically invented Rule 34.
Yeah. I was thinking about this recently because
How about Rule 43? It's a whole different thing.
if you exist, there's porn of you. That probably still falls under.
I think
34.
could be misremembering. I think Rule 43 is
if porn
is gender
exists.
bend of it.
Oh, you know what? That sounds right. But I was thinking about this recently because my friend Henry's nephew is young. He's a young boy. Still loves Sonic.
Yeah.
Still into Sonic. I have another friend who has a son who's like a little bit older than Henry's nephew. Loves Sonic. Mm-hmm. And I'm just like so pleased that because when I was their age, I also loved Sonic. So I just like that
Ooh,
Sonic
we need
has
stronger
just
swords.
withstood the test of time. He's got a cool longsword though.
Oof, they are such weaks. Yeah, but also, well, how old are these nephews?
Young. I'll say under 10.
Oh, okay.
Just to keep the
Okay.
to keep it broad.
Well, because I think for us, and those in the millennial/Gen X era, we definitely had a lot of touch and go stuff with Sonic. I feel like no matter who you were. I mean, there's only so many games like Sonic 06, Sonic Unleashed.
But that's also like after our time.
Yeah, but I mean, like
We had Sonic Adventure, which I guess was a bad game. We had all the 2D Sonics, which got crazy.
yeah, well, it's not like Pokemon.
Sonic R?
It's not like Pokemon that, like, as you mentioned last episode, I think a lot of people in our generation just sort of like just stopped paying attention to. Not that the games got terrible or anything.
They might have even gotten better.
Yeah, they might have gotten better, but we just sort of dropped off of them. But the Sonic games objectively got worse.
Yeah. Well, although there were some like middle ground games like throughout the years, like
Like Sonic Dream something.
the one that's like an RPG. They did that
RPG?
remake. Yeah, Sonic Colors? Not Sonic
Oh,
Colors.
no, Sonic kind of.
BioWare did a Sonic game.
BioWare did a Sonic game?
Yeah, it's like an RPG on the Game Boy Advance that people seem to like.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
You know what I love about this game?
You know, Kuni or Sonic.
Sonic Chronicles: The Dark Brotherhood for the DS. That's awesome. No, what I love about this game is that if the party leader dies, the game just doesn't go to game over.
That's you thinking old school.
I really hate that. Well, I've been playing Persona 4,
Yeah.
and it's one of those.
It falls into that old school category.
God,
For sure.
there's like a couple of enemies that legit just have an insta kill move, and they could randomly choose to attack you as the main or attack the main character, and there's nothing you can do about it. You get game over. That has happened to me twice so far.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. But that's how it used to be, man.
Oh, reminder, you can start.
Speaking of-
heal.
What is it? Angel's Tier?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, Angel's Tier, I think. Oof. Oh, you know what? You could have made this easier probably if had adjusted your tactic tweaker.
Oh, for elements?
Yeah. For the whatever the sludge goo shit at the top says.
Oh.
Googa.
Yeah, Google's cool. Nope.
Wow.
This was a mistake.
Eat food.
I
Makes
don't
critical
think-
hits more likely. That's
I
helpful.
don't think the food does anything.
It does. The food is totally helpful. Makes critical hits more likely for 4 minutes.
Alright.
Improves defense. Oh. You can give another one to...
Dumpling it up.
Dumpling. Gotta use magic. Wow, look at that. There's so many more critical hits.
Time to use El Presidente.
El Presidente.
Where's the freaking Demi thing when I need it?
Yeah. Oh, there it is.
Oh shit, he made another go goof.
I think you just have to kill the main one, right? If I remember
Yeah, I
last
think we've
time,
done
you
this
just have to kill the
before,
main one. Roland.
This is not a healing move? This is not heal?
It's supposed to be.
Or is it a shield?
Oh, it might be a shield. I don't think I had ever heard of this Sonic Chronicles game. But
I would
actually,
love to play it on this
now that I
channel.
look at the art,
Look at that shit.
it does look familiar.
Look at that shit.
Ooh, 3 level ups.
Elite Sorcerer's Ring. I'm gonna swap out Tani for Evan.
What? Did you know that this game had controversy?
Why?
The game garnered controversy after former comic writer he wrote the American Sonic comic book, sued Sega and BioWare, claiming the Nocturnus clan was too similar to his Dark Legion. So, you know.
I don't remember that at all. I do remember those comics went fucking hard, but I don't remember specifics. Other than like Sonic's robot animal friends, like that chick with the robot, the bunny with the robot arm. They all get fucking murderlated.
Lawsuits? Oh, he just sues people? In a lawsuit, what is the verses? What is each side?
The suing side is the plaintiff, and the side that gets sued is the defendant.
I mean, like which side?
It's always the
If
plaintiff.
it says Archie Comics versus Penders, which side is the?
Archie Comics sued Penders.
Got it. Oh, he was sued by Archie Comics.
The plaintiff, as it said, is the master of the lawsuit.
What? Interesting.
Oh, wait a minute. These guys are fire. Tactic Tweaker.
Oh my god. He tried. Oh my god. Daniel, this guy basically tried to own Sonic.
I don't blame him.
It says in 2009, 3
quite a
years after
trophy.
leaving Archie Comics, he began filing for copyright of every story, character, and artwork he had created for the Sonic the Hedgehog series and its spin-offs that he wrote. And the claims were certified April 2010 by the U.S. Copyright Office. That just doesn't seem... Wow.
Fire damage resistance boost. That's what I want. Oh, see, I don't know. I'm not familiar with copyright litigation, but it sounds like
so strange.
sounds like you have to. The administrative exhaustion is like administrative exhaustion is like, for those of you who don't know, is like when you file with like an agency or whatever before you can sue in court. So it sounds like you have to file with the copyright office first. I didn't know that because I didn't take copyright law. That's cool.
Interesting. This is people. He decided to
Even
do
though I
it
wanted to.
after people asked him if he had anything to do with the Sonic Chronicles: The Dark Brotherhood game, which he did not.
I'll do my best.
And so he was sued by Archie Comics for trying
For
to
being a fucking dick.
for being a dick
Yeah.
and trying to claim everything that he'd made for them.
Yeah, a vexatious
Um,
litigant.
And he then sued Sega and EA for using all that stuff that he claimed was his. Oh my god. Daniel, he won.
He won? What, oh,
Because in
specifically?
2013, the lawsuit ended with prejudice, with Penders gaining the rights to an estimated over 200 characters from the comic in a confidential settlement with Archie Comics.
Probably, so a lot of secondary characters that he wrote were
Yeah.
probably settled. With prejudice means they can't refile it again.
Archie would initially write his characters out of future comics, rewriting issues mid-lawsuit to remove any references to them and not republishing stories involving them, before rebooting the canon entirely to retcon out not only his,
The
but
power of
any-
Sonic wins.
not only him, but every other former writer's original character.
Fuck him. He ruined it for everybody.
Yeah. When asked about this reboot interview, he said that the retcon wasn't necessary and that Archie could have continued using his copywritten characters.
They just paid him $1 gajillion.
His lawsuit would inspire other Sonic alumni.
Another Sonic lawsuit.
Scott Fulop to file his own copyright infringement lawsuits against Archie and Sega. Those lawsuits were dismissed a year later due to insufficient evidence. Interesting. So, Daniel, why didn't you take copyright law in school?
You could never fit it into my schedule. That was very unfortunate. There are a lot of classes. I wanted to take tax law. Never did that. Should have taken tax law. That would have been a good idea. I don't know. I don't know if this is a good idea.
This guy?
This guy.
What level is he? You don't have to fight them.
31.
Oh my god, no.
No. I know I don't have to fight them, but I want to.
Okay.
Grimchilla. What level am I? I don't even know what fucking level am I.
You're 26.
26. I need better weapons.
Is a cool mechanic, but also kind of a shitty mechanic.
No!
In a game you didn't play. In Final Fantasy 13, Lightning Returns. Switch that. Lightning Returns Final Fantasy 13. The world is ending.
Mm-hmm.
It's literally like the last, depending on what
I'm
quests
familiar
you
with the
do.
premise, which sounds really cool, by the way.
Yeah, depending on what you do, or if you do side quests, the last 13 days left of the world, and it's cool because you're like any enemy monster in the game, you are fighting the last of those, and every
so
single
you can clear it out, right?
yeah, every single one of them has a set number of them left.
Hey,
Yeah, and the last one is I think the Omega. Because you always have to have an Omega thing in Final Fantasy. But so the last one is the Omega, and if you kill the Omega, then that monster just ceases to exist.
That's rad.
And
Every time you talk about these fucking 3 games, I always want to play them. Like last time I was like looking at I came home and I was like looking at the Steam page. I'm like, maybe I should just get it's on the Steam Deck. It works on the Steam Deck.
but something that's also
I
really
didn't
cool is
dislike 13.
if you don't do any of that, if you don't clear out any of those enemies, before the last, I think the last day or the second to last day, a dungeon opens. It has 100 floors. I think it's 100 floors. That is that game's Omega dungeon, and the Omega version of every enemy is in that dungeon, and so you can try to.
That game's on a timer. It's like Majora's Mask, right?
Yes. Yeah. And kind of like Majora's Mask, it is very Majora's Mask. You can choose to do it in any order. There's
That's
like
cool.
4 different areas, and you can choose to do any of the 4 areas in any order you want. There is a really creepy side quest that is interesting and makes sense narratively. Not sure it was necessary.
That sounds like they have some
I'm not gonna
questionable
get to-
stuff.
It is very questionable stuff.
What if Lightning was nude for this one?
Oh no, that is significantly less questionable.
Wow. Was it Lightning that was on like Playboy magazine?
Was she?
No, it was from Final Fantasy Spirits Within. I think they put that character on the Playboy magazine.
Oh, really? Lightning is a really confusing character.
Lightning did
But
a
the
perfume
name-
ad or something. Yeah.
The name for Lightning is really confusing to me. I can never remember what her real name is. But at the beginning of the game, she's like, "My name is Lightning because I'm raging against the world."
Oh,
And then at
man.
the end of the game, end of the first game, she's like, "Okay, I'm going to change my name to Light because I'm no longer just raging. I want to make the world better with light." But then
That's pretty stupid.
the successive games pretend that statement never happened, and they just call her Lightning.
Okay, so I want to make this great sword for Mr. President.
Did I tell you what? I probably have told you a weird, like, just game lore thing that I find cool about the Final Fantasy 13 games. I'm not gonna say they're amazing games. I think they're interesting.
You can say that. This is our YouTube channel. You can say whatever you want.
But like, in the original game, all of the main characters become l'Cie, I want to say, which means they basically become the servants of gods. And they're given extra powers and whatever. And so in that game, because they are given powers of gods, the damage output they have is like astronomical, and they are capable of at the end of the game beating gods. But in the second game, the two main characters aren't that. They're just, they're just regular people, effectively. And so their damage values are significantly smaller. They get nowhere into like the millions.
Yeah, because that game breaks the 999, right? Mm-hmm. Did the game do it before that? 11 doesn't count.
10 does it with the ultimate weapons. I don't know about 12.
I mean, do you like Final Fantasy? Because you give me a lot of shit for Final Fantasy VIII, but let me tell you, Final Fantasy 13 gets its fair share of
Oh yeah, no, I don't
flack.
I'm kidding. I don't have any. I don't actually have any problems with Final Fantasy VIII. I just think it's.
You just like to pick on me.
I just think yes. I think it. Well, I think it's kind of funny how much shit it gets.
Yeah.
I do think that
13 gets a lot more shit, though, than 8.
Yeah,
Like,
I
8
do-
still has nostalgia.
Yeah, I do think the fact that leveling means literally nothing in Final Fantasy VIII is kind of strange,
Yeah.
and that I don't know a single person who started that game that understood the junction system until like the end of the game.
Well, because it doesn't really... It's not really cool until you get... Or it doesn't really break the game, I guess, until you get, like, crazy spells, like double, or like these, like, or triple, these, like, really weird spells that, like, boost your stats really high. And yeah, like, when I started playing the game, I was like, oh, it's dumb that, like, you waste magic, but oh well, I guess I'm gonna junction fire and then use fire. And then later on you get into, like, defense and attack junctions where, like, you basically just apply the element to your weapon and then you don't need to use the spell. But it's really weird. And yeah, it doesn't... The game tells you what's happening, like, oh, you junction something, and then it adds to your stats. But it doesn't tell you, like, all the intricacies of, like, well, these spells are better at junctioning, and then, like, you know, these
there's
spells...
there's not really like a tutorial
like
about,
an in-depth,
about
yeah.
it.
It just kind of tells you, like, hey, you get more HP, and then your GFs research it, and it's like, okay, cool. But,
And that sucks.
and also I joke a lot about Triple Triad, but really, like, Triple Triad is one of the best ways to get overpowered in that game. Because at the end of the game, you just turn the cards into items. And there's, like, an item called a hero, which makes you, like, invulnerable, and there's, like, a team version of it, like a all-hero or whatever. I don't remember what it's called, but it's
Like a
hero.
sandwich.
I wish. What is this, Nino Kuni?
Yeah, I think. I mean, I don't have any problem. I think. I don't know. I think 8 gets just obviously gets a lot of shit. Again, not anywhere near as much as 13, which I think is kind of funny. I think 8 is more one of those. It's like fun to hate on it, sort of things.
13 also, I think, has an objectively, like, more... Well, I guess 8 has a worse story, I think. 13 has a more confusing story at first.
Oh yeah.
But, like, when you get to the end of 8, you're just like, what the fuck
Well,
is
also,
happening?
13 has just a couple of just like really annoying characters. I think 13 did like a disservice to the characters, I guess, who are all interesting. But one of the problems is like it doesn't do a really good job, I think, of making you feel like until near the end of the game that these characters have any reason to be interacting with each other, other than the fact that they are all fugitives for the same reason, which in some situations is enough, but for I guess reasonable reasons they keep on splitting the party. Again, it's sort of reasonable, but sort of also...
Does it happen at story points where it's like, all right, everyone, let's go to the whatever?
Yeah, pretty much. Like, oh, man, we don't want all of us to get captured. You guys go down, take the left path. You go take the right path. Or person gets upset with somebody in the party, and they're like, I'm leaving. And other person's like, well, I'm going to follow you because I think You're the strong one.
Oh no, now we're stuck in this dungeon and must kill this monster.
Yeah. But also, Hope
That's
is
cool.
so fucking annoying in that game until,
Watch this.
until like, I think halfway through the game. At least.
Demi.
Did you get it? Yep.
We should really play a Final Fantasy game for this channel.
Yeah.
And it honestly has to be either Final Fantasy 13 or Final Fantasy 8. There's no other options.
Probably 8, just because 13 is so long.
Oh, if we play
So
8,
long. I mean, 13 is just... I feel like you really can't play... I feel like 13 really is all 3 games. If that makes sense. It just...
what do you mean? That makes
Like-
no sense. To me.
Okay. Like, I feel like 13... The 13 is improved by getting the whole story. Because the end of
From the other two
13... The end of
games?
13 is really confusing.
Uh-huh.
And makes more sense in 13 too.
So are those games sequels, or are they like...
Oh yeah, they're legit sequels.
Okay, so it's not like it doesn't do a weird thing.
It's not. Yeah, no, they're not spin-offs. It's all following the same timeline. Like the reason you play as Sarah, who is Lightning's sister, in 13-2 is explicitly because of stuff that happens in 13. And the reason the world gets to a point where what happens in Lightning Returns is because of stuff that happens in 13-2. But also, for 8, my understanding is nobody understands whether the story is all a dream or not.
Oh yeah, that's a huge... I'm fully on board with that theory. It makes so much sense. Because the way the game plays out after the scene where everybody says the dream starts is like the biggest giveaway for me is like there's a character who does not love or care for the main character at all, who's suddenly madly in love with the main character, and they have a love story and all that. And I know that the real reason is poor writing or whatever, but or maybe a poor translation. But it's like it's so jarring that you're like, we had a whole bunch of stuff happen and you hated me, and now you're like waiting for me to rescue you from a spaceship. Like
Yeah.
I don't know about this.
That's what I call a Tuesday.
Yeah. Man, that Ragnarok spaceship sequence though, cool as fuck. The Ragnarok is the best Final Fantasy ship.
Even better than all the ships in 12.
Yes. Oh, by far. Even better than Fran and fuck, what's his name? Han Solo.
Oh my god.
Balthier? Fran and Balthier's
Yeah.
ship. Yeah.
I have also not played 12. I have watched long plays of 12.
That game is like the definition of like a breakable Final Fantasy game. Because by the end of it, you just get these combos and the AI just does it for you. And
Oh
you're
yeah,
just like-
what was it? I forgot what their system is.
yeah, the quasi MMO thing. Vaughn is a shitty character though. I don't like Vaughn.
Yeah, he's the kid at the beginning, right? That you start off with.
Yeah, who's
Who's the street rat?
he was supposed to not be the protagonist, and then they were like, we got to make a young guy the protagonist because no one's gonna want this old guy. Bosch, I think his name was.
Oh, that cave is where you want to go.
Yeah, I know. I just need some flexible fish.
You need some flexible fish. Have you ever had a flexible flyer?
That's from something.
Is it?
I don't know. It sounds like it's from like a Dragon Quest game or something. Or a Nino Kuni.
Are you sure?
No.
A flexible,
We do play other video games besides Final
A
Fantasy.
flexible flyer, by the way, is a sled.
Oh. It's from real life. It's from
Yeah.
IRL.
We don't play any other games besides Final Fantasy.
I like a good. I've been playing.
That's a
I've been flirting seriously with playing the Thief games.
Same.
I've been flirting seriously with playing the System Shock games.
Same.
I played System Shock 2. I just
I think
never
I heard
played one.
they're releasing a
A remake
the
of one.
remake of
A
one.
super remake of one. because 1 is very not playable, which is why I haven't played it. It's like
Also,
a little too dated for me.
the original Deus Ex games.
Yeah, you should play those. I would love to play those games with you. Deus Ex 1 is really fun. Oh God, are they in there?
This seems like spiders.
Alien. This is Alien. Kill me.
I'm gonna say
Blimey.
water spiders. How about Walter Strider? Remember that? Have you seen that movie? The
No.
Tuxedo with Jackie Chan.
Oh, I know
Where
that
people were
movie.
using water striders to poison the water to kill people.
Mm-hmm.
And he misunderstands and thinks the person says Walter Strider. And so they're looking for Walter Strider for the whole movie until the
Stupid.
very end.
They would never make a movie like that now. Isn't it the tuxedo is like a bionic suit, right? And it like makes him really good at
Yeah.
fighting.
Yes. The suit turns him into Jackie Chan.
Wow, I wish I had that suit. I could do so much good in the world.
Ooh, this is level 30.
I'm not scared.
Oh, you're doing a decent damage. Ooh. Oof. Ah. No. No. Nice. Yeah, you are chewing through this guy's. Oops. Never mind.
I need the demi.
This is like the best spell.
Yeah, it's so powerful. For like the second thing that we found. Shit. Ah,
I think
I didn't even see where he was coming.
I think if I'm remembering, that is actually one of the Higgledies that is considered like one of the best in the game. Best Higgledy.
Fuck. Demi, I gotta get the demi.
You got it, you got it!
Knock your socks off.
I guess they replaced the Pokemon mechanic in this with Pikmin.
You know what? I'm
Sort
okay
of.
with that. Boy, another franchise I love. See, we were talking about those strategy games, that one episode of Freedom Fighters a long ass time ago, or was it Inscription? And I completely neglected to discuss Pikmin, which like, I don't know about you, but that early GameCube era of like Rogue Squadron 2, Pikmin, Smash Brothers Melee, and Luigi's Mansion, like all those games, like to me is probably my favorite era of games. Like I'm so nostalgic for like that, for like original Xbox games. Like you probably never played Brute Force. That's a bad game, but I love that game.
I've never even heard of that.
It's bad. It's a bad game. It came out the same time as Halo, and they were supposed to be like the competing like, hey, what are people gonna like? Well, whatever one people like, we're gonna make it a franchise, which turned out to be Halo.
Can I
but
tell you something about Halo? Sorry,
Brute
go
Force,
ahead.
by the way, squad shooter. Anyway, go ahead.
So, the other day, Satomi works in interesting things. The other day she asked...
She's an assassin.
Yeah. The other day she asked me if I'd ever heard of somebody that she just like, I just had a meeting with this person.
Hideo
I
Kojima.
forgot what the person's name was explicitly. I
Shigeru
remember
Miyamoto.
I know who they are. I know who they are if they hear the name. I also know who they are in general. But she was like, "Have you ever heard of this person?" And I was like, "Yes, I have." Just like, "Oh, okay, interesting." And so like I Googled them, and this person themselves has a wiki in the game industry. I was like, "So this is who this is who you just had a meeting with."
Is this an extensive wiki?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a couple of people that she's met that are like considered gods in the industry. For like more industry people. But it's like, let's just say she's met people that have founded some of the most influential companies in gaming, and she doesn't know any of their names, who any of them are, until like she asks me. And it's
That's
so,
the best way to be, though.
It's so it's so weird.
I get so starstruck, and I hate it. I absolutely hate it. And I used to work at a hotel where a lot of celebrities. Actually, I worked at a lot of different hotels, but where a lot of celebrities would come by, and sometimes I would not know who they were and just have a normal conversation. Other times I'd be like, either I know who they are or I find out who they are, and my body just gives up on me, and I'm like, no, be a professional, stop stuttering. So I wish I could live like that and just not know anyone and just be like, yep, just working.
But some of the people, like one of them, I'm not going to name,
Hideo Kojima.
but is like, not only is this person important, but that other people at the company knew who they were and were just geeking out. And one of them in particular, she's like, do you know who this person is? Or this person or whatever. And I Googled them and was like, this person has legit worked on some of my favorite games of all time. And you don't know who this person is. It's just, it's crazy.
Hironobu Sakaguchi.
No. It's so funny, you always go to Japanese names.
Because that's, they're the influential ones.
Yeah.
I don't know. Ed Boon. I like Ed Boon. He's a cool guy.
You don't want to level up that facility?
No.
No? Okay.
I want to level up this facility, though. Can I do it? I don't have enough money.
Oh, I don't have enough money.
Need more of that KG.
Oh, you can maybe level up your kingdom. Right?
I think I need guilders.
Or do you need,
for
or do you
that.
need 2 million?
I have enough influence. I just need
Oh.
more guilders. I need more guilder accumulation rate,
What does
too.
level kingdom do if you go to... Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, I
you
just need more
500.
guilders.
No, 5,000.
Well, you know what? Let's build some more buildings.
Let's build some more buildings.
Yes, this is slowly becoming my favorite part of this game.
It was the same for me.
Higglery just sounds like something like someone, like a British man, gets mad at me. What's all this higglery?
What does all this higgledy-piggledy?
I don't have enough AQ. Is that what the problem is? Yes, it is.
Huh?
Let's put y'all. Oh, it's middle research. Well, damn it, y'all. Nail.
I love that.
That's all I remember from DBZ Abridged. Nail. What am I? The barracks. Oh, you know what? I do want to level up the barracks.
So we've been
actually.
showing my cousin Dragon Ball Z, and we showed her a little bit of the first bit of DBZ Abridged, and she just scrolls through Instagram and Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, TikTok like all day, and she has started sending me and Tomi just memes from DBZ Abridged. And like, these are hilarious. And at the same time, I'm also like, you have no idea what this is from. Oh, you have quests here.
Yeah, the main quest.
I mean, like, on the map.
Oh, really?
If you go back outside.
Let me do this. Main quest first. Main quest always.
Main quest always.
Yeah, DBZ Abridged makes no sense if you haven't watched the show. And even then, it's like, you gotta remember so many freaking details. Like, I watched Dragon Ball Z, like, when I was a child. And then I watched DBZ Abridged way later, and I'm like, I don't remember any of this shit. I have since watched Dragon Ball Z twice, all the way through.
Did you see all the,
And Super once.
what do you call it? The shenanigans, or the how upset people were about Android 16's death
No.
during DBZ Abridged?
No.
Because they like make it a joke, and a lot of people were really upset because they're like, this is like one of, if not the most touching moments in the entire game. I mean,
Yeah.
in the entire thing, and you made a joke about it. And like, we get that you're doing jokes, but like that was really like a really important thing. And like they changed the entire reasoning for it and stuff. And Team 4 Star's response was sort of similar to what you were just saying, that basically, oh, you just went past it. Maybe this person was basically that they created a different what's the word I'm looking for? A different narrative, I guess, slightly from the original in DBZ abridged, and so they decided to change 16's motivation to fit in that moment, to fit their reasoning or the universe, the new story, the universe that they had created, instead of doing, I guess, what most people do as an abridged thing and just adapting it. Does that make sense?
Sounds like they were just talking super fast. Try to make an excuse.
Kuni?
Yeah.
You can
Oh.
make fun of Android 16. He's a funny guy.
Huh?
And then his head explodes. He likes
Oh,
birds.
This is he just like birds.
But we already have a Frankenstein's monster android. Android 4, right?
Oh, from Dragon Ball?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a homie.
But 16 is so sad. You haven't watched Superhero.
No.
You learn what 16. You learn a bit more about 16.
Oh, wow.
It's Superhero, vaguely. 16 was modeled after Dr. Giro's son,
That's cool.
who was Dr. Giro's son was apparently
Level 60. Nope, thank you.
a really just like aggressive person, and he got killed in battle. And so Dr. Giro wanted to create an android that was a version of his son that was so strong nobody could hurt him, but wasn't as hot-headed,
He failed.
and somebody that just couldn't be killed, which is why they didn't want him to be activated. When 17 and 18 activate him, it wasn't as much about the other stuff.
Even when he gets activated, he's never like down with them. He's always like, I'm just gonna go like hang out
Yeah.
with these birds.
Yep.
Do you have a favorite Dragon Ball character? Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super, Dragon Ball World. Let's say like a top 3, like a characters where you're like, I'll always do that.
Oh my god.
I'll always hang out with that character.
Oof.
My number 1 is Yajirobe. Yajirobe,
okay.
dude, because he sucks. I like Piccolo. Piccolo's amazing.
Piccolo's amazing. I love Hit.
Hit. Oh, you know what? Hit's in my top 3. Yes,
Hit is- yeah.
absolutely. Other Piccolo. you mean.
Oh, the other Piccolo. Yeah, I love Hit. Man, top 3. Shit, well, Hit's on there.
Does it show me the
Trunks.
weapon triangle?
What?
Does it show me the weapon triangle? What's strong against what? It just expects me to
I think it's in
remember.
your, yeah, it's in your thingy. Let's see, what is this? Nino Kuni 2? What is this called?
Combat mode.
Okay. Sword beat, red beats, axe. Sword beats axe but loses to spear. Axe beats spear but loses to sword.
Good luck, everyone.
My hammer.
What is this? Red beats green, green beats blue, blue beats red. And then
What is
there's yellow
hammer?
and purple,
Which are just like.
which are just like other
You
things.
said red beats green?
Red beats green and green beats purple. But purple. I mean, oh my god, too many colors. Red beats green, green beats blue, blue beats red.
I already forgot.
Don't forget. Remember. Remember who you are.
Oh, I like. Who's the cat that lives on that?
Oh,
the sensu beans?
Oh my god, I'm forgetting everybody's names.
Yeah, me too.
Not a ball to lose.
And I completely forgot we were talking about characters.
Best Dragon Ball.
Best Dragon Ball characters. Yeah, so I think Trunks, which is pretty basic.
When I was
now.
a child, I loved Trunks.
Right?
My wife and I were talking about that recently.
Um,
Everybody loves Trunks. Trunks was designed to be loved.
yes, he was.
He was just dark and brooding and cool.
He was masterfully designed to be loved.
Yeah.
I do love Yajirobe.
Yajirobe,
I don't know-
dude!
I don't know if Yajirobe would be in my top 3.
I love Yajirobe, dude. He's so cool. He survives the apocalypse
wanna
in
say-
Super.
Maybe again, but I don't know. We'll have to see what happens with the biggest disappointment. I guess there's a bunch of disappointments, but Gohan.
Yeah. Well, let's put it. How about this? Let's narrow it
I
down.
also wish they did more with Chi-Chi.
Yeah, she could have been cool as fuck. She could have been like a. She could have had powers and been strong. How about this? Favorite Dragon Ball Super character not from our universe,
Oh, hit.
besides it.
That's not fair.
It's the top 3.
Okay. Oh, well, not from our universe. Probably. I mean, I love Champa.
Yeah.
God, when you said from our universe. Also, I know nothing about him, but the fourth, the high priest,
Stay strong.
angel dude, the angel daddy, we call him.
I do not remember who you're talking
Remember,
about.
he's like Zeno's #1 guy.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Good luck, troops.
Yeah, love that guy.
Well, Whis is cool.
Yeah, but
Whis
he's
is
from our
Whis
universe.
is ours, so
You excluded him.
I did.
It's
But I
like
like him.
Jiren.
Sure.
I agree with Vegeta about Top being a little punk.
Yeah. Yes. He's extremely sensitive,
Top
and he could have
honestly
been.
should have been disqualified.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like not fair that you can just not disclose that until the final moment and then be like, well, we're here. Oh, look, it tells me the weapon triangle right in the top right corner.
Oh, look at that. Yeah, Top should have been disqualified. Like, this is supposed to be a fight. I guess technically Goku and Vegeta should have been disqualified too. Sort of.
but whatever.
But like, Top literally was like, I'm gonna be, man, I'm having a hard time here. I'm just going to become a god.
Yeah.
Like an official god, not just
I'll leave this in your hands.
an unofficial god. Like Goku and Vegeta. And I
Fuck
do
Tom
love
Cruise.
how they have updated Broly.
Oh yeah, he's like in the other Dragon Ball movies that he was in, he was just a monster. He was like,
Yeah, because he
Very
wasn't.
simple.
Akira Toriyama didn't actually make him.
yeah, he just was like, I need something to fight.
Hey, they're destroying your thing.
I don't care.
You don't care. Is he gonna rebuild it?
Well, I got these towers here that
Oh,
are just
yeah.
gonna do the work for me. Wow, this is a tough challenge.
Oh, there's a thingy over there, on the left. You see it? The might thing.
Ah.
Hiya!
Is this really how this is gonna play out? Because
Oh no, they're coming across.
finally.
Man, you just hammered it to him. This is hilarious.
Come on, rifle guys. Boy, they really didn't.
Hey, they destroyed your tower.
Yep.
That's it, isn't it?
Yep.
Thank you.
Wow.
We won! Hooray!
Remember when this was hard for me?
Yep. But now you've mastered it.
You just gotta hold R2 and or R1 and L1.
Well, now that we've done that,
Okay.
maybe we'll see what more power Evan and his armies hold next time.
Next time on Dragon Ball Z. Can't say that. Don't strike copyright. Strike this video, please. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.